All right, so hello. This is going to be a pretty short update, but I'm going to be following it up with some work on an emote. I'm finally going to do that. Finally going to do a dancing emote that we've been the people have been clamoring for a dancing emote, and I shall provide. But um before that, let's do a little update. Now, the updates this month are probably going to be kind of thin because I started working on something. There's a job that kind of got a bit more complicated this month. And so Malison has kind of become secondary a bit. So essentially, I'll still be streaming Malison stuff every night. Um, but unlike usually, the stuff I stream on Malison is kind of like, the tip of the iceberg. Usually I just, stream whatever is the most interesting part of the stuff I do that week. And then in the background I work on all sorts of stuff. But this month it's probably mostly just gonna be like art assets I stream, and then off stream I just work on something else completely. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit slower this month. And also the stuff I do this month is probably just gonna be art assets, just stuff, just lighter stuff. I just gonna keep the Malison stuff, basic, and just stuff that's fun. Cause the other work is getting pretty heavy, so yeah. Um, and this week I already started this week I basically just worked on the Roach dungeon, and I just made I just polished up some assets. I just polished up some of the cockroach monsters and gave them like different distance positions. So I gave them like this one. This one I gave it a frame where it's got like a person underneath it when it's close, stuff like that. And yeah, that's all of the Malison work I did this week. So yeah, now I don't. Again, with the Roach Hell, I don't want to show too much of it. There's some fun new characters and things. I'll do just a little bit here because this update is so thin in content. Otherwise, I don't want to be, uh, I don't want to show nothing. So there is this thing that I've redrawn. If you've seen it before, it used to be like this huge mound, just a big ball with a face in front of it. I turned the big ball into a tree. It's not finished, obviously, but that's like the better concept there. Um, and there's some other fun stuff that I've made for one section of the dungeon, of the Roach Hell dungeon, that's gonna have characters to interact with. But I don't want to show those. Should I show those? They're just kind of sketchy, but I kind of want to keep those secret. I mean, if you've been on the stream, you've seen them. If you want to see them, absolutely. You can check. You can check the vods of, I think it was yesterday's stream where I did those. No, I think it was, I think it was the VOD. I think it was on Friday. So if you're really curious, go on my Twitch and check the VOD for the Friday stream. Uh, for the VOD for let's see, what day was this? Friday, March 3rd, I think. So if you really want to see them, check the VOD for Friday, March 3rd on Twitch, and you should see some of the some of the very the much newer characters that I've added for the Roach Hell. Yes, otherwise I don't want to spoil this because a few hundred people are gonna see the recording of the updates. I mean the one I put on Twitch on YouTube later, and I wanna keep the big spoilers a bit restricted. But yeah, that's it. That's the stuff for Malison. So yeah, and this entire month, the Malison update is gonna be thin like that. It's gonna be really small. Next week, I think I'm not gonna do more Roach stuff next week. I don't want to. I don't want to just make this a Roach, a Roach dungeon exclusive month. So I think next week I'll probably be working on some polish for chapter 1. I think that's probably a good time to do that. I want to keep things light and doing some polish on some like assets and stuff. on some of the monsters and things for chapter 1 seems like a good thing to do if I want to take sort of a month of, taking it a bit more slow. So yeah, I think I'll probably be just polishing some of the monster assets, some of the enemies and stuff, in chapter from chapter 1 next week. But yeah, that's, and also, oh yes, also for Tartarus Below, for the RPG Maker dungeon crawler. Monday I did work on a new area, which is the Hell, the sort of like the sort of magma cave area, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Made like a big area, made a bunch of enemies for it, completely new enemies for it, and I designed a big maze. It's a fairly straightforward area. It's not too complex. And next Monday, I will be working on the Fungus Caves, which is the area just before the magma cave, and it's also going to be a somewhat straightforward area. And I will also need to set some time aside to make enemies for it, because I also don't have any enemies for it yet. So it's probably going to be a pretty similar sort of stream. Because yeah, I'm basically doing the same thing, just making some enemies and then making a fairly straightforward area. So yeah, that's gonna be it. That's basically the plan for next week. Yeah, that's it. That's about it for the update. So yes, now I guess this is where I'm gonna cut the update, because now I'm going to work on an emote that I've promised. I was supposed to do that last week, and I forgot. So, yeah, let's do a little, yeah, let's do a little emote. Let's do a little, I wanted to do a little dancing Parze. A little dancing Parze as an emote. I think that's a good idea. Let's just have Parze dancing. All right, let's start something really small, and then we're gonna see where we can go from there, right? Just a little bounce. There you go. All right. Should be there already. You might need to refresh to use it. I might also need to refresh my chat to see it. Yeah. Let's go. There you go. Hey, look at him go. Look at him go. Ah, it's just a little too dark, though. The clothes are just a little too dark.